Hello everyone, welcome back to Checkmate City, your favorite place to sharpen your chess skills one move at a time. Today we are diving into one of the most important topics in chess, the three golden opening rules that every chess player should know. Whether you are a learner how to start your games or you already play online and want to fix those early blunders, these three rules will completely change you approach the opening. Let's dive into it. Rule number 1, control the center. The center is the heart of the chessboard. The four squares e4, d4, e5, and d5 are the most powerful places your pieces can influence. Do you know why it is so important? Because from the center, your pieces can move both sides. For example, if white plays the move e4, black play e5, just controlling the center. Your white bishop can move to c4 and bishop b4 can be played. Like the development of your bishop is easy, and when you play the move like c3 and bishop a5, d4 will be played and controlling the two squares, making a scope for the c1 bishop to go to g5 and play knight to f3. So there are many options in the future, right? For black also in this position, black can play the move d6, just opens the diagonal for the other bishop. So controlling the center is so important. That's why most openings start with a pawn, more likely e4, right? This e4 opening is called as king's gambit, and white play the move d4, it's known as queen's gambit. So in the opening example we will see these openings in further videos. So let's see a game. If white plays the move e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6 and bishop c4. It's an Italian game. So it's a important to know that controlling the center squares is important in beginner chess levels, right? In even in modern openings like Sicilian defense, black play the move c5, right? White play the move e4 and c5 will be played. So controlling the squares is so important. Every strong opening start with the same foundation, central control. So remember, don't start with a random pawn move like a3 or h4, right? Like playing a3 is useless. Playing h4 or h3 a G4 F4 is a simply waste of time. Playing E4 and D4 is simply a great move for the beginners. So let's dive into the second topic, which is develop your pieces, right? Once you establish controlling the center, it's time for rule number 2. Development is simply means bringing your pieces out. That is, white play the move e4, e5, just white bring their pieces bishop c4, c6, knight f3. If black play bishop c5, then knight c3. Just bringing your pieces right to the natural squares for early development. Here is the simple rule: knights before bishops, right? Know the rule in your mind. Before bringing the bishop to c4 or b5, just bring your knight to f3, right? f3 and c3 are the important squares where knight can be placed. For black also, knight can be played to c6 and knight f6. So remember the rule that knights before bishop, and don't move the same piece twice unless it's obviously necessary. That is, if white play e4 and black play the move e5, right, bishop b5 and c6, you have to play the move bishop e2, right? You are playing the same bishop two times in the opening, so don't do that. Don't play the bishop g5, play the move bishop c4, just making a control of the d5 square, right? So let's see a game like before. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, knight f6, d4, cd4, ed4, bishop b4 and knight c3, castle and bishop g5, right? It's a great position, and white brings all of his minor pieces to the center for the attack, and his central control in center was great. Is controlled by 2 points, so it's a great example for controlling your center and bringing your pieces to the attack, right? But there are some common beginner mistake. Moving the same piece 2 or 3 times early is a blunder. Pushing too many pawns like a4 and h3 is also an unnecessary move. Like if black play the move d6, white play h3, right? And if black play the move bishop e6, they will play b3. It's an unimportant move to play, like b3, a3, g3, f3, sometimes h3 in the unwanted position. So don't move the unnecessary pawn moves, right? Then the biggest one was bringing the queen out too early, right? Let's see an example. Consider this position, right? White playing the queen to f3, right? Trying to make a silly four movement. If black play knight f6, he will play the move bishop c4. If knight c6, he will bring his queen to b3, right? Black will play queen e7 just to safeguard the f7 pawn. So it's unnecessary to bring the queen out. If white play d3 and knight a5 was played and simply chop the bishop on c4. So it's simply unnecessary to bring the queen early. It might look dangerous, but against any defense the queen just gets chased around the unwasted times. So try to develop the pieces early before 10 moves. Then the third rule would be castle early. Rule number 3. Your king is the most valuable piece in the game, right? The early you move it to the safety, the better the king can survive. Castling do two important things, right? It safeguard your king and bring the rook into the play. So let's see the example right here, right? e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, and castle. It's the opening called Ruy Lopez. So white castles early and connect the rooks, like bring the rook to the e1, right, and making control of the semi-open e5, right, and supported the pawn on e4. So don't delay castling for unnecessary pawn moves and keep your king in safety. Don't keep the king stuck in the center. So place the king early to the castling side and keep the king safely. So let's see a game which includes all the three rules, right? e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. I have already shown you this game, right? For before example, knight f6, d4, e d4, c d4, bishop b4, and knight c3. And white here replay with a great game, right? Knight e4 will be played, castles, and knight c3, bc3, bishop c3, queen b3. The game goes on, right, like this. So bishop takes a1 and bishop f7 and king f8 and bishop a3. There are some other moves like this, so it's gone like this. So it's important to know in this question, right, after knight e4 and castles, it's the white who dominates here and the black is in a solid position. White control the center as per the first rule, d5 and e5, and e4 and d4. Black also controls d5 and controls the e4 square which is knight and attacks the d4 which is knight also. So white can bring his rook to the center and just attack the king, right? If black play the move castles here, it's a great move, just simplify the situation, right? So here the three rules also satisfied: controlling the center, develop your pieces, and castle early. So if you enjoy this video, drop a like, subscribe to Checkmate City, and comment below which opening do you want me to cover: the Italian game, the Sicilian, or the London system. See you in the next video, and remember, every move counts towards checkmate.